Bun găsit, sunt Adrian Boioglu. La GoNEXT.ro discutăm cu oamenii momentului, iar invitata mea de astăzi este doamna Marija Labović, care este directorul Asociației Naționale de Promovare a Serbiei. Good morning, Mrs. Labović, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to come here in your office, actually, to talk about promoting Serbia and talking about this beautiful country and everything that it has to offer. First of all, I want to ask you, it seems that your country has gained a lot of tourists lately, and the number of tourists has increased substantially in the past year. So I know it's the thing that we're seeing now, it's a work that you've done throughout the years. But is there a secret to that? What's the secret to bringing so much more tourists, and what is the number, the percentage that the tourist number has increased year over year?
It's not result due to only one thing, so it's not so easy to give an answer in just one sentence. First of all, I want to welcome you in Serbia. We are very pleased to have you here, and we already had very good cooperation. I know that you have been to Serbia prior to this visit, so I hope you will have a really good time in Serbia.
We do.
When we talk about results in Serbian tourism, one of the very important things is continuity. We are continuously present at the source markets that are of greatest importance to Serbia. And in that sense, our extensive promotional campaigns are, let's say, live through whole year. So we are doing the combination of all promotional tools in sense of, not only doing the TV campaigns or radio campaigns, but we have the combination of all, from the fairs, organization of different special events at the source markets, presenting Serbia as tourism destination, or doing a lot of fam trips and study tours for journalists, for bloggers, influencers, for tour operators, organizing B2B events for tourism trade from our country with the tourism trades of the countries that are our source market. So many things combined are giving the results. This is one part of the equation. Also, the fact that Serbia is investing continuously in tourism infrastructure and also in transportation infrastructure. So now we have situation that our destinations became closer because it takes shorter time to go to those destinations, and we have all those let's say additional values to the destinations regarding all those investments that were made from the private but from the public sector as well. Tourists are searching for the experience, tourists are searching for something new, they're searching to have the quality time on destination. That is something that we are offering to them.
I've seen increases in numbers as high as 40% from last year.
Yes, from last year. This year we have results for the first 5 months, and we can say that when the overnight stays of international travelers is concerned, we have 33% increase in overnight stays. And what is very important for us to say, this is to comparison to 2022, and 2022 was new record year for Serbian tourism. We managed to recover fully, and not only to go back to the 2019, which was the prior
to the pandemic.
Exactly, before the pandemic record year, but now we even managed to overcome those results in 2022, and now with the results in 2023, we are pretty much optimistic that this will be the new record year for Serbian tourism.
What are the main markets that you promote your country in? And I'm talking about not only going to the fairs, because it does not. I suppose this is one of the main things that you do, but you have to be much more than that.
Yes, the thing is that with years, digital campaigns became very important because travelers are mostly deciding where to travel through some of the online communicational tools. So in that sense, fairs, yes, we are present there, but less than before, and we are mostly present at the B2B fairs that are only business oriented. We stopped going to the fairs that are for the general public because we are now, let's say, using those funds for digital campaigns. And when we talk about the source markets that are of greatest importance for us, we can separate them in, let's say, 3 groups. First, and for us most important group are the neighboring countries, because we have most of the travelers coming from the neighboring countries. In that sense, we talk about prior former Yugoslavian countries like Bosnia and Herzegovina, like Montenegro, like Northern Macedonia, Croatia as well, Slovenia, and when we talk about neighboring countries, Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Greece. Those are the countries, let's say, that are mostly among top 10 when we talk about overnight stays of international travelers. Then we talk about EU countries, because every year our national carrier Air Serbia has more and more direct flights that are connecting us directly to many destinations, and in that sense we are following those paths wherever we have the direct flight. We are usually very present on those markets. When we talk about the EU markets, from the EU, among top 10 we have Germans. They are those who are present in top 10 for many years now, but we are promoting in Italy as well, in Spain, in UK, a bit in France as well. So in that sense, these are the markets that are in focus when EU is concerned, and long-haul markets. When we talk about long-haul markets, China is our prime market, and even with all the let's say problems that came with pandemic, they returned, and we have Chinese travelers among top 10 as well, which is for us very important, not only for us, for whole Europe, for whole world. Chinese travelers are those who are making difference of which country has recovered when we talk about tourism and which one didn't. Very fortunate thing is
the Asian market is huge. So yes. How do you work to promote your country there, and what was the attracting point for the Chinese people, let's say?
Well, I have to say that we are continuously present at the Chinese market for now almost 10 years, intensively for the last 7 years. And it was very good that in 2017, when we already had the strong promotional campaign in China, our country decided to abandon visas for Chinese travelers.
That's one good strategy.
That was a brilliant strategy, because it helped us a lot, because we were the only country in Europe where they could come without visa. And in that sense, that was a really major step towards such an increase in numbers of Chinese travelers.
Is that still available right now?
Yes, it is. It is. Okay. It's still available. Then something also very important is the fact that apart from very strong campaign that we have there, we have the PR agency in China that is doing job with us in sense of all the promotional activities, and also very important thing is the connectivity. And from this year, our national air carrier, Air Serbia, has a direct flight from Belgrade to Tianjin, and we also have direct flight by Hainan Airlines from Belgrade to Beijing. So in that sense, all those, the most important things when you're opening some market and when you are developing some market are fulfilled when China is concerned. And very strong bonds between our two countries is also very important, because all the information that is exchanged between our two countries, or everything that is happening bilaterally in all fields. Very important thing is also the closeness of our two presidents, and this all is making very positive image of Serbia in China and very positive image of China in Serbia.
What is the main attraction for the Chinese tourists here?
Well, mostly international travelers are coming to Belgrade on the first place, and most of the overnight stays is here in Belgrade, conducted by international travelers, and then they like to see those specific spots. They like the nature, they like the culture. UNESCO sites are very of their interest as well. They like to see something new. They like to taste our food, because when we talk about gastronomy, that's one of let's say, it's part of every product that we have in tourism, and it's something that is really making a good impression to all that come. But on the first place, culture and historical heritage, nature, and gastronomy.
I saw something that caught my interest. You did something that was brilliant as well. You took out last year for a few months the visas for Egyptian travelers. So you attracted more people from Northern Africa, the Arabic countries. What was the result of that? How did you feel that you increased the number of tourists coming from those parts of the world?
Well, from this part of the world, we abandoned visas for Indian travelers, and that was really good. And we had strong increase in number of travelers coming from India. Unfortunately, we had to return visas for them because of the EU regulations, and because we had to comply with the regulations of the EU. But these are the proofs that if you abandon visas and if you have a good connectivity, you get really good results. And in that sense, we hope that everybody would be able to come to Serbia without visa, because we see it's very, very good. Another example that I would give is Turkey, because with Turkey we have visa-free regime as well, and travelers that are coming from Turkey are second in overnight stays in Serbia.
Now, talking about the besides the beautiful parts of Serbia that we're going to talk about, the gastronomy and the wines are two of the main points, the main attractions when it comes to tourism. So my question would be, how are they promoted by the organization that you lead in this country?
Well, in many ways. First of all, it's part of all of our promotional materials, and whatever we do, we include the gastronomy. One part is related to the promotional materials, the other part is the real tasting of the food.
You have to taste it to enjoy it.
Exactly. So whenever we are organizing events abroad, we always have Serbian food with us to promote it in that way as well. But something that we did in the last 3 years and that we think is of great importance is that we managed to bring Michelin to Serbia, and we managed to bring GoNEXT.ro in Serbia. Both of those are the most influential gastronomic guides in the world. Every country and every restaurant, let's say that every restaurant is dreaming of having some of the Michelin stars as a recommendation, and we managed to bring Michelin to Serbia. Recently we had the new reveal, and now we have 17 restaurants that are recommended by Michelin, and also the GoNEXT.ro gastronomic guide that is covering whole Serbia and is very, very useful for travelers. But we can see that even people from Serbia love those guides, because you always get some new idea where to go and what to taste. In general, we are combination of East and West, and our food is also combination of those, so we have something for everybody's taste, and somehow we managed to pack it in a product that is very attractive to all.
I can say from my experience that we tried some of the wines in the Zvonko Bogdan winery yesterday, and also we went to a really beautiful restaurant 27 in Belgrade that was included in the Gomio guide.
Yes.
Talking about
and sorry to interrupt, because I didn't mention how important wines are in Serbia, because for many years we had a period of neglecting the vineyards that we had in the past, but now the time came again that we are appreciating the vineyards and production of wine, and now we are even, you know, putting ourselves in a position of a country with some very specific wine sorts that are authentic, and that we have really quality wine. And to prove how important it is for us, we last year was the first year that we organized the Wine Vision fair. It was the Wine Vision by Open Balkan, because we are members and one of the those who initiated the creation of the Open Balkan initiative, and we had I can say beautiful and really successful fair, and we will have it this year as well. This year it will be in November, and we are looking forward, because we already know that we have so many of those who want to participate in this fair, and not only from Serbia, North Macedonia and Albania that are the members of the Open Balkan, but from all over the world.
Now, talking about the food and gastronomy, I know it's a never-ending story, and it's a very good story, but people that are coming here are interested in the event. So I want to talk about the event calendar. I know that you closely collaborate with the local authorities and also with the national authorities and with the event organizers. So I want to ask you, what has changed after the pandemic, and what's on track for this year, for 2023?
Well, I have to say that this is the year that we can say that we are back on tracks where we were before the pandemic. For us, all those festivals are very important because they're in our culture. And today and yesterday, one of the biggest international festivals that we have, Exit Festival, started, and it's 23rd in a row, and it's worldwide known. But I would say that yes, we are very proud that we have Exit. We are very proud that we have Guča as a trumpet festival. We are very proud that we have Nišvil. We are very proud that we have Beer Fest as festivals that are known outside of the borders of Serbia. But I can say that in our calendar we have something a bit more than 900 different festivals in the year. And many of them are happening during this period of the year, and that is very important as well, because they are those that are giving that additional value to the destination. Because they are those that are giving that additional experience when tourist is traveling through Serbia.
Are you talking about music, film?
All different types. Music festivals, film festivals, gastronomic ones, some related to some traditional customs, for example. So they're also they're combined not only in sense of the theme, but also in sense to whom they are dedicated to, and in sense of who is the public. So public for some of those public is the youth. For some of those it's the general public. For some of those is for older population. But the good thing is that we have the combination of all, so everybody can choose according to their own preference. We also have many events that are happening in the nature, because when we talk about festivals, usually we think about the stage, the sound, and everything. But for example, now, because it's summertime, we have some of the on the river banks, we have some different activities with the boat riding, or doing the combination of music and rafting, for example, and we have it in many parts of Serbia.
I can say from experience that we've been part of the Kustendorf Film Festival in the winter. It was an excellent experience. The village itself, built by Mr. Emil Kusturica, and the movie's experience and everything was excellent. So it's just one idea that is getting more and more famous around the world. Big actors have come there and big directors. So that's one good way to promote Serbia outside of its borders.
Exactly, and I have to add, because you mentioned Kustendorf and Drvengrad, and they're located in Mokra Gora, and how important are those events and all those that is happening in the destination that you mentioned, is that not last year, the year before, the World Travel Organization introduced the new category, the most beautiful village in the world, and Mokra Gora is one of those villages.
It's a well-deserved award, absolutely. And talking about the mountains, because you mentioned that, I forgot to mention and to ask you about an increasing category, and that's the one about the spa. Because we've been to Vranička Banja, we've been to Kapaonik, and we've seen the excellence that it's going on in there. We've seen the new hotels. Everything is on par with huge hotels and chains from outside of the country. So how do you feel that has contributed to the way that Serbia is gaining traction in an area where maybe 10 or 15 years ago you wouldn't have thought about Serbia as a spa destination, maybe?
Exactly, because previously spa products of Serbia were used mostly by domestic travelers. But now a lot of investments happened. In the past, we have international chains of hotels only in Belgrade. Now we have them in those destinations as well, which are proof of quality of accommodation and proof of quality of the destination, because they know where they are going to invest, because they have calculated where the growth will happen. And we have such a beautiful nature, and we have such a great wealth of mineral springs and other benefits for having those spas in place, and now with very quality accommodation, and I would say very high quality of the professionals who are working in those accommodations, because in spas we have let's say two types of accommodations and service. We have those that are related to rehabilitation, and they're offering medical service. So mostly people with some problem would come there for the recovery. And we have the separate parts now for spa and relaxation, and for enjoying the holidays of fooling batteries against stress in the spas. So yes, we see the increase in number of international travelers coming to our spas. They're still not as high as we expect, and we believe that in the future it will rise even higher, and we are really proud that the quality of service is really good, and now we can be very proud and say to anybody who prefers this type of tourism products that we are the place to be for that type of vacation.
Absolutely. Let's talk numbers. I know that your organization, in order to be strong, needs a lot of money to do that. And I want to ask you, do you have the means to do that? Do you have the necessary budget year over year to make sure that Serbia is promoted accordingly?
Well, I have to say that when pandemic came, we all had to cut our budgets, and since then we still didn't recover fully budget-wise as well, because we had other priorities in recovery. I also have to say that if we compare the budget of Tourism Organization of Serbia with the budgets of other national tourism organizations in Europe, and this is this was the proof through the survey. It's not like estimate. We are among those with the least budget. So we are among, let's say, top 4 or 5 with the least budget that we have.
What is your budget for this year, for example?
For this year, our budget is approximately 3.5 million euros.
Would you say that is enough? Would you say you need more?
Well, I would say that when promotion of country is concerned, it's never enough. Because it's very important, because our job is not only to present Serbia as tourism destination, but we are creating the total image of Serbia through our promotional activities. And if we compare our budget with the budget of our, let's say, competitors, if we can say this way, in that way, competitors in sense countries that have similar tourism products and that are present at the similar source markets, they have like 2, 3, 4 or 10 times more than we have per year. So in that sense, that let's call competition to be present and to get close to the viewer is very tough. And
well,
in that sense,
you must be doing a good job, because with all of that, you have increased the number of tourists a lot. So that's congratulations for that. So that's very good.
Thank you. It's not result only of National Tourism Organization of Serbia. It's a result of our ministry, of our government, of our president, of all of those who are making decisions of how we're gonna perform. But I would say maybe even more important than all of us is the result of tourism trade of Serbia, of the investors in tourism infrastructure, of those who are working every day in tourism of Serbia, because they are those that tourists are seeing when they come to Serbia. So every single person that is employed in tourism industry in Serbia is directly connected to those results.
Now, talking about the Romanian market, because we are close neighbors, the Romanian travelers are always attracted by nature and having such a close destination with beautiful scenery, with great gastronomy and so on. And not only that, but with historic and cultural ties, we feel like we are family, like
Exactly.
we are brothers, So how do you work in attracting the Romanian market to Serbia?
Well, we have campaigns year by year. This year we also had some events that we have organized in Temișoara, in Bucharest, but also campaigns through the digital platforms, not only through the social media, but also to the portals that you have as well. We are also bringing fam trips to Serbia, bringing journalists and tour operators to Serbia to show them what we have to offer. So all those are, the activities that we do, and we find a Romanian market very important for us, because first of all we have direct flight from Bucharest to Belgrade. Secondly, we see the continuous increase in numbers of tourists coming from Romania to Serbia, and what is also making us very happy, and we want to find ways to extend it even more, is the fact that previously we had Romanian travelers mostly in the border part of Serbia, the part that is closest to Romania, but now we have travelers from Romania all over Serbia. This winter, for example, in Kopaonik, we had so many travelers coming from Romania, and now they're going even further from Kopaonik to Zlatibor, which is very important, because it's it's all in the west of Serbia, which is totally opposite from the eastern part from where you're coming to Serbia. And we see that you are recognizing the tourism products that are good for you in Serbia, and we are very pleased to see that, and hopefully we will have even more travelers coming from Romania this year and next year.
We've participated recently in an event at the Serbian embassy in Bucharest for the promotion of Vranička Banja. It was a great event, and those are the things, the small things that have much visibility. We helped the embassy with inviting more journalists from Romania. They were all impressed by the things that they've seen there, and they are looking forward to come and visit Vranička Banja. So those kind of events are the ones that promote it even better, because it's not the fact that you're reading about it, it's the fact that you're meeting the people, that you taste the wines and the food and so on. So that's one thing. And second is the infrastructure. Romanians that are coming here are all impressed by the highways that you have, by the good quality of roads and so on. So that's those are the factors that make us want to come back again and again to Serbia. How do you feel those are contributing to your general increase in the visibility?
We think that these type of events are very important, and we are doing these type of events as often as we can, because, as you mentioned, it is very important to see people face to face and to taste the food and to feel the to be able to get really close to the destination. And also, when you come to Serbia in the fun trip, it's totally different when you write an article or make a TV show or whatever, because you felt the destination, so you connected with your heart and with your experience with the destination, which makes a huge difference. And now with the infrastructure that we have, I think that we became much closer in sense of distance in time. So in that sense, I believe that in the future we will have even more travelers coming from Romania, seeing how easy it is to come to Serbia, on the beautiful new highways that are connecting us.
And the fact that you don't need a visa, you don't even need a passport if you come by car, that's one great thing to talk about. I know it's difficult, but we're getting closer to the end, and I want to ask you, what are your recommendations if, let's say, you land in Belgrade and you have one day, what should you visit? What are the things that you should not miss when you come for a day in Belgrade?
Well, it's very difficult, because I don't think that in one day you can visit everything that Belgrade has to offer. But for example, I would for sure say that you would have to go to the Belgrade Fortress and Kalemegdan Park, because they are the heart of the old part of the city and situated at the confluence of Sava and Danube River with beautiful view, is the must see when you come to Serbia or to Belgrade. Also, the Saint Sava temple is something that I would recommend to every traveler who comes to Belgrade, because it's unique and magnificent in all senses. So that would be my second recommendation. I would also recommend you to go to the Belgrade waterfront to see this completely new and modern part of Belgrade and to experience that, to also visit some of our restaurants, to taste some of the food. Let's say in Skadarlija, for example.
Oh, that's one good recommendation of being there, and I can vouch for that.
I'm really glad, because Skadarlija is something like a small Montmartre of Belgrade. So I recommend to everybody to come to visit. Also now during these summer days, I would recommend going to Ada Ciganlija. It's a lake in the city, so it's a beautiful park and beautiful lake that is with beaches that are with all the accessories needed, so you can swim in the center of the city and feel like on vacation in the center of the city. So I would recommend Ada Ciganli as well.
Now I'm sure that the travelers are going to enjoy this so much. So what would be your recommendation if you want to visit Serbia, let's say for a week?
Well, it depends on what you prefer. It's related to the personal preferences of the experience that you want to experience. But for example, let's say that I would for sure start from Belgrade. I would use and visit the Belgrade. Then I would use the opportunity to go with the fast train to Novi Sad, because now Novi Sad is just a 30-minute ride by train. Visit Novi Sad, Fruška Gora and Sremski Karlovci, which are very close one to another. That would be a beautiful one-day excursion from Belgrade. As you mentioned, Subotica and Palić and some of the wineries in the Vojvodina region for sure. And then if we talk about the other parts of the Serbia, let's say in Western Serbia, I would recommend to visit some of our beautiful mountains, Zlatibor, Tara, Divčibar as well, but also some of the spas, as Vrnjačka Banja, Soko Banja, in sense of relaxation, you know. Also, I would recommend going to the eastern part of Serbia, especially from Belgrade. If you go down the Danube, you have on the river banks of Danube prehistorical historical sites that are unique in the world. Exactly. And also the beautiful fortresses that we have on the Danube, the Ram fortress, the Golubačka, yes, and Golubac and Golubački grad. So that would be also one of the recommendations that I would give. You can even that trip you can combine with relaxing on the Silver Lake and having a swim, you know, between two of historical and cultural sites, for example.
And what is the dish that you have to try when you come to Serbia? What food should you try?
That is even more difficult question, because for food I cannot say one dish, because you know,
you
even
have to
now
try them all.
Yeah, because it differs, you know, from what you prefer to eat, but that would be very difficult for me to say, really, because you know, nowadays people who love meat, then it would be something related to meat. But for those who are more into fish, you know, I cannot say. But I can say take Gomio or see the Michelin recommendations and choose the restaurant, and you cannot be wrong. Even if they're not in the guides, wherever you eat, I'm sure that you will find something really great.
At the end of this interview, I'd like to look into the camera, you look like into the eyes of the viewers, and send a message to travelers from Romania and all over the world. Why should they come here and visit Serbia?
Well, I would invite you all to come to visit Serbia, to enjoy in Serbia, because Serbia is a whole year-round destination. So in every season we have something very interesting to offer. Our tourism products are really diverse, from nature, culture and history, gastronomy, beautiful cities, then also enjoying some of the festivals. We have something for everybody, so we are welcoming you with our open hearts, because most of the travelers who come to Serbia say that one of the most important impressions that they have is the hospitality of our people. So come to experience our hospitality and variety of tourism products that we have to offer. And in context of the slogan of National Tourism Organization of Serbia, experience Serbia.
Thank you for this interview. Thank you for this opportunity. And at the end, I must say, I came here last year for half a day with a cruise ship. I fell in love with Belgrade. I fell in love with Serbia. And from last year, I've been here, I think, about 6 times already. I enjoy it so much. I want to spend my vacations here because it's so close to Romania on one hand, and the warmth of the people, the smiling faces, the excellent food, everything makes for an experience that it's very hard to be forgotten, and makes you want to see some more, visit more, meet more people, and it's all thanks to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Doamnelor și domnilor, acesta a fost interviul de la GoNEXT TV. Numele meu este Adrian Boioglu, alături de colegul meu Mitică Raftu și o video din spatele camerei. Vă mulțumesc pentru atenție și până data viitoare vă dorim o zi mai bună.